Pretty boy ass
nigga looking for makeup.
You want touch up, bro? Makeup? Makeup?
He said, I know makeup. I got it.
Fuck with nothing but bitches, and sometimes the makeup artist don't show up.
That's how you flex. That's how you flex.
Oh yeah, I got you real quick, you know.
Hey, I'm fucking other bitches, so you know.
So that's really.
How you know makeup for the bitches?
You know what I mean? I really want to learn makeup though, just for that, because sometimes the makeup artist's not available. For the models available.
And you look that much doper if you do her makeup. You set up the lighting and do the shit. Yeah, I got you. I'm Warsame, aka Ralph Madison, world-renowned, world-renowned director, documentarian, all-around creative individual.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me. The moniker Ralph Madison came from, first I was a DJ before I even started like the film stuff. So I was DJ Same, and I didn't want to get Same Warsame confused with what I did as a director. And I wanted a cool ass name. So me and my former girl just sat around. I was high as hell, and we was just like coming together, putting like first and last names together. It was like Chase, hella weird ass shit. And then we got to Ralph Madison. I was like, that's me. And then I've been Ralph Madison ever since. My first trip overseas to like shoot, well, it was my first trip overseas in general, but that was in, I think, April of this year. And we did like a 4-city run between London, Bahrain, Marseille, France, and then back to London. And that was with DJ Whoo Kid. It was like a 4 or 5 day thing, and I was literally just all over Europe between the Middle East for like 5 days. And this was like after me never leaving the country, never like prior to coming to New York, never leaving the West Coast. So that was like the trippiest shit ever, because like I went to London and was in like, I can't remember the name of the club, but it's like sold out, and it's like DJ Whoo Kid, 50 cents DJ, you know. So we're like getting treated like gods out there. These is like, it's clubs out there, they're like 16 plus. So it's like 16-year-olds, kids younger than me, buying like champagne bottles and shit, and they're excited to see us. And I'm like, bro, I don't do shit, you know, I have a camera, but they're treating me like I'm a celebrity and shit. So that shit was like trippy as like, I don't know what, man. And then we went from London to Bahrain, which is in like right near Saudi Arabia. And that was dope for me, because I come from a Somali father and a Somali background. So being able to see like the Muslim culture firsthand was like, I kind of felt like I was at home. Like I've been missing things that I hadn't been able to like connect with since I was like 10 years old, going to the mosque with my dad. So that like, I felt like I knew myself more after that trip, and I saw things that I know most of my friends up until now still haven't seen. So it like really changed my perspective and kind of showed me all the possibilities there are. It was really a trip, bro, yeah. Man, definitely by far, besides Erykah Badu taking a selfie in my phone at South by this year, was Wiz's private show at Webster Hall. Because Whoo Kid DJ'd that, and I told Whoo Kid at the beginning, I said, bro, I don't want anything but to be able to smoke with Wiz at the end of the show. Because we had linked up with Wiz multiple times in LA, like different places when we was on the country touring. And I was like, bro, I gotta like really connect with dude, because he's like one of the people being like, since I've been in the industry, he's one of the first people I like looked up to as far as like current artists. Because I was in like freshman year when Kush and OJ and all that stuff started happening. So me and my friends just smoking our first blunts and shit to Wiz Khalifa, and then to fast forward to being in New York and like being able to kick it with him firsthand, that was trippy. Because the show happened, and after, obviously, you know, everybody kicks it backstage and shit. So we go back, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll get to hit a joint from Wiz, and I'll just be here, you know, with my camera documenting. It was like the total opposite. Like we sat down, the way I smoke with my homies, I'm sitting next to Wiz, we're chopping it up, and like we connect for 2-3 hours listening to like Marvin Gaye, smoking weed in the back of Webster Hall, and talking about like all the trippy shit about how I got to where I'm at, and like me like confiding in this dude about how what he did with his music and how it motivated me to be where I'm at. And he's like telling me, yo dude, you're ahead of the game, you know what I'm saying, you're farther than I was at that age, this and that. And this is coming from like an idol of mine. So that shit was like the most surreal, crazy. Like I called every friend I had like after that night. I was like, bro, I just smoked with Wiz. And it wasn't even to flex, you know, it was really like, for me, I fanboyed, and I don't fanboy. Like I don't get excited to meet celebrities. I met so many at this point. It's not like that special. But I sat there with this dude for 2-3 hours, just talking about life, the future, the past, where we're going, where we're heading, how we got there, and just what it means to be in these positions. And that was like the realest shit, realest interaction I've had with anybody in this industry up until now. And we ended it with a hug on some like, bro, we gotta connect later shit. And I was like, wow, this is like next level, bro. So that shit was really, really crazy. Honestly, the Whoo Kid shit was the trippiest connection, opportunity, whatever that came into my life, because it literally came from me meeting this dude, Justin Fleischer, who is, to me, I'll tell the world, he's like my guardian angel. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had any of the opportunities I had since I've been in New York. I met him randomly because when I moved to New York in 2012 for college, I knew Iron Solomon from shooting something randomly in Seattle, and I knew all the people from Seattle that was here. That was it. And I went to an Iron Solomon show with this camera that I had rented, and I got the wrong camera actually when I rented it for that week. And I got to the show, and we're getting ready to shoot or whatever, and this dude walks up to me like, yo, do you have an extra battery? Da-da-da-da. I'm like, yo, actually I do. Here, bro. Give him the battery, whatever happens. During the show, we start chopping it up. He's like, yeah, I work for this company, Creative Control. I don't know if you heard of Joey Badass, Big Crit, whatever. I'm like, bro, those are all the guys I listen to. He's like, well, yo, dude, I fuck with you. I like your energy. Come by the office next week. We're looking for interns right now. Let's try to make it happen. And in 2012, when I moved here, I had never edited a video in my life. I had interned at Cube in Seattle, and Harry from D2s was editing all that stuff. I couldn't edit shit. But I went to Creative Control, and they're like, yo, show us your work. So naturally, I could show them all the dope work from Cube 93, whatever. But I did leave out the fact that I never edited any of those videos. So I have that meeting with them. I come back. My next test with them is to shoot this show and edit this footage. So I'm like, bro, what the fuck is about to happen, man? I've been practicing my editing, but I've never put out anything edited by me. So I like sit at home smoking, and this is when I'm doing very stupid stuff still in my life. So I smoke like a pound of weed for some reason while I'm doing this. So I just practice editing, and I get this final cut. And I go into the office, I show them, they're like, yo, we fuck with it. Like, whatever else you need to know, we're gonna teach you. You got the gig. You're interning for Creative Control. So because of that, I met Joey Badass, I met Big Crit, I met Johnny Shipes, all those cool people. And after I made a poor decision and got kicked out of school and sent back to Seattle, where I spent 6 months, Justin calls me in July or August of last year. And he's like, yo, I got this opportunity. Whoo Kid needs a cameraman. I already showed him your work. He fucks with it. You just got to get here. And I'm in Seattle broke as hell because I got myself kicked out of school, and I'm just trying to get better at camera work at the time. So I begged my parents and my brother. My brother like co-signs the apartment for me. I get the apartment, I come back. My dad, my late dad now, buys the camera for me, and I get this job. And by January of this year, I'm touring the country with DJ Whoo Kid, like a kid, you know, living the dream. I felt like, I told all my friends, like, as a cameraman, that was my version of getting signed. If I was a rapper, if I was Dave, whoever, of my homies, Kel, whoever, that was me getting signed right there. Because I literally got a job where I told him, all you got to do is give me enough each month to pay my bills, and I'll do whatever you need. So we made whatever agreement that was. I got that check every first of the month, and because of it, I've been to Europe like 3 times now. I've been to every major market in the country, and I've met every celebrity I could dream of. And that's all, like I said, off of this guardian angel dude that I met by chance, because I was only willing to talk and take interest in those random people that you come across. So like, for me, I learned with that whole interaction, above all else, like, everybody matters. It doesn't matter who you meet on the street. That one random person could be the difference for you. It could be a bum on the street, it could be an old lady, it could be some fat kid that you don't even want to pay attention to because you're like, he got no bitches. But that dude, whoever it is, can be the catalyst for your career, your life, your dream, whatever. So like, for me, I tell all my friends, like, don't judge a book by its cover. Like, any interaction, you know, value it, because everybody has something to bring to the table. And luckily, I did that. I thought like that, and now I've touched the globe because of my camera.
Nice.
Shit is tripping, man.
That's fucking nice, man.
Yeah, bro. I hope to tell that story till I die so kids understand it.